on the track.
Today, we're trying to get our heads around a truly singular figure in music, Rick Rubin.
Yeah, he's this mythic guru-like character. But the big question has always been, what does this barefoot guy who sits on a couch actually do?
It's a total contradiction, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's exactly why everyone from, metal bands to country legends wants to work with him.
He's the guy who shaped American music over and over again for 40 years, and his main tool was, well, just listening.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. Let's get past the legend, past the beard, and really analyze the method.
Right.
We're looking for that creative DNA, that one idea that connects the boom bap of early LL Cool J, the brutality of Slayer, and the heartbreaking vulnerability of Johnny Cash.
Exactly. That's the through line. That's what makes him so unique. He's not a sound engineer. He's more of an architect of clarity.
An architect of clarity. I like that.
Yeah, you don't go to him for a specific sound. You go to him for a process that forces you, the artist, to figure out what your core ingredient even is.
Okay, so let's start at the very beginning. Rick Rubin, born 1963, Long Beach, New York. He starts as a punk kid.
A total punk kid. Our sources say his high school band, the Pricks, even played at CBGB. But the real change happens when he gets to NYU.
Right, the dorm room catalyst.
He's studying film, but he gets completely obsessed with the hip-hop scene that's exploding in the Bronx and downtown Manhattan. He saw this connection.
The energy was the same.
The energy was the same. He realized that the raw, anti-establishment feeling he loved in punk had just, moved over to hip-hop.
And he didn't just notice it, he acted on it immediately.
Yeah.
Creates Def Jam recordings out of his dorm room.
That youthful audacity is everything. It tells you all you need to know about his whole approach later on.
Which is what?
You have to remove the filters, the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
When he partners up with Russell Simmons in '84, they don't go to the big labels. They just build their own universe from scratch.
And right away, he sets the sound for what early hip-hop is going to be. Let's talk about that first production, LL Cool J's I Need a Beat.
Yes, it's just absolute minimalism.
But what does that mean in practice?
Well, before Rubin, a lot of early rap records were kind of messy, cluttered. Too many samples, too many effects. Rubin just cuts through all of that noise.
He focuses on what? The beat.
A hard drum machine, one simple sample loop, and this is the key. He puts LL Cool J's voice right on top of everything, front and center.
So it's not just simple, it's aggressive. It's immediate. It gives the words all the power.
And you see him do it again right away with the Beastie Boys. He takes these 3 white punk kids and turns them into rap stars. It was this wild mix of rock, rap, and humor.
A cultural phenomenon.
Totally.
Yeah.
But the real culture shifting moment, the one that just blew the doors off everything.
Had to be walked this way.
Oh, without a doubt. The decision to get Run DMC to remake that Aerosmith song, that wasn't just a cool idea. That was like a declaration of war on genre.
It literally dragged rock radio listeners into hip-hop. Made it mainstream overnight.
It's insane when you think about it. By 1987, before he was even 25, Rubin was already one of the most important producers in history.
He'd basically codified that rebellious sound that shaped groups like Public Enemy, even if he didn't, produce all the records himself.
The whole philosophy was set. You take something new and exciting and chaotic, and you put it in a tight, restrictive frame to make it even more intense.
Which brings us to the critical question. How on earth do you take that minimalist 808 drum machine philosophy and apply it to a heavy metal band?
It seems impossible, right? He leaves New York, goes to LA, and just pivots hard into metal.
And this is where that idea of clarity gets really interesting, because the result is the total opposite of intimate.
Exactly. When he produces Slayer's Rain and Blood, one of the most important metal albums ever, stripping it down meant something totally different.
No minimalism there.
Well, it was a different kind. He got rid of the reverb, the studio polish, all that sonic fog that was all over 80s metal.
So instead of being fuzzy, it was sharp.
It was terrifyingly sharp. He helped them focus all their chaos into this super tight, brutal masterpiece. The minimalism wasn't about being quiet, it was about exposing pure, raw aggression.
He was looking for that primal power.
Always. You see it again with Danzig, focusing on their dark, bluesy core. It establishes this pattern for his whole career. He's the guy you call when you're lost.
The comeback guy.
Yeah, much later he does it with Metallica on Death Magnetic, helps them get back to their roots when they felt they'd lost their way.
Okay, so then the 90s hit. And this is where he's at the peak of his, genre-bending power. He's doing bombastic rock, and painfully intimate folk at the same time.
The contrast is amazing. Let's start with the bombast. The Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
That album defined their whole sound. And what's so interesting is the process. He gets them to record in this legendary, maybe haunted mansion. And that's not just a gimmick. It was about embracing imperfection, removing the fear of a sterile, perfect studio. He was helping them find their emotional depth, not just their funk rhythm. And he ends up doing, 6 of their albums?
But at the same time, he does something on the complete opposite end of the spectrum.
The most important collaboration of his career, you could argue, Johnny Hash, American Recordings.
If you ever need proof of his anti-production method, this is it.
Yeah. Cash's career was basically over. He was buried under all this Nashville overproduction. And what does Rubin do?
The opposite of what any sane producer would do.
The absolute opposite. He doesn't add a new drum loop. He strips everything away. Backup singers, strings, polish gone.
Until it's just one voice and one guitar.
And you have no choice but to focus on the story, on the fragility in his voice. It's just raw, uncut truth.
There's that quote from Cash himself that just says everything.
Rick Rubin saved my life. And that's not a technical review of a producer, right? That's an artist saying this person helped him find his purpose again through radical vulnerability.
Wow. And that approach let him do everything. He could shape the quirky political sound of System of a Down and then at the same time push A Tribe Called Quest to be more emotionally honest. The gear never mattered, the truth did.
By the 2000s, he kind of evolves. He's not just a producer anymore, he becomes a philosophy. Artists start seeking him out for clarity, for his editorial input.
That shift is so important. He comes back to hip-hop and he gives Jay-Z the beat for 99 Problems.
And it's not some dense, complex thing. It's a simple, hard, rock-infused beat that was perfect for that story.
You really see his editorial hand with Kanye West's Yeezys too.
Oh, for sure. He was brought in super late in the process, and his job was basically to just strip the album down, take this big, dense project and make it raw and aggressive and metallic. He was the editor who knew exactly what to cut. He became the person you call when you're stuck. He pushed Linkin Park to be more organic on Minutes to Midnight. He produced the Dixie Chicks Grammy-winning album. He just forces people to look inward.
So we have to talk about the critique.
Right.
The elephant in the room, if he's not touching the gear or programming beats or playing an instrument, is he just an executive coach getting too much credit?
And that's the challenge to the myth. But all our sources suggest his value isn't technical at all, it's psychological. His genius is in listening and in identifying the noise and helping the artist get out of their own way.
So if you had to boil down the Rubin method, what would it be?
Okay, I think it comes down to maybe 5 things. First, you strip away the clutter. And that's not just sonic clutter, it's the clutter in your head.
Right, the expectations.
Second, you focus on the core emotion. Whether it's anger or joy or sadness, everything has to serve that one thing.
Third has to be vulnerability.
Encouraging vulnerability. Removing fear. That's why the Johnny Cash sessions worked. He made it safe to fail. Fourth is embracing imperfection. The little crack in the voice, the mistake. That's the truth. Don't auto-tune it away.
The last one.
Slow down. Breathe. And trust your gut instinct.
It's just amazing that this formula works for Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
And it works for the Strokes. It's totally genre-proof because it's not about the instruments. It's about honesty.
It all goes back to his own quote. The best art comes when you stop trying to make art and start telling the truth. That's the one constant.
His legacy is just monumental. I mean, you have hip-hop's birth, metal's evolution, country music's greatest revival, and the golden era of alternative rock.
He wrote it all down in his book, The Creative Act, and he's still at it. Still at Shangri-La Studios in Malibu, still barefoot, still sitting on the couch. He's a creative mirror, a guide, a philosopher.
His whole career is proof that the most powerful thing you can do creatively is often subtraction. Just removing what's unnecessary to find the truth underneath.
So we'll leave you with the final thought inspired by all this. What element of clutter or noise in your own life? Maybe it's a bad habit, a fear of failure in your work, some distraction. What do you need to strip away right now to find your own core ingredient? Thanks for joining us.